I'm Christopher Elliott, and I'm here with my sons, Aaron Elliott and Aiden Elliott. And before we keep going, I'd like to give you guys a group hug because I love you both very much.
Yeah, we love each other.
And the reason I'm giving you a group hug is we've been fighting all day. Not a good day. Not a good day.
No.
But a good night because it's like 7 o'clock at night here in Copenhagen and we're doing a podcast with you and we're really excited about this.
Yeah, you want to know why we're doing a podcast with you guys so late?
Yeah, why don't you tell them?
This guy didn't know the difference between the headset port and the mic port on his recorder.
Okay, so I have to just explain. We do our audio here and there's two ports and my vision is not that great, so I put it in the wrong port anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
I'm doing it again.
Don't worry, we have practice now.
Yeah.
So we'll be even more concise.
We're staying at a hotel whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. The
Briggen Guldsmeden Hotel.
One of the greenest hotels in all of Denmark. And just to show you how green, here to demonstrate how green the hotel is Aaron Elliott. Aaron, what are we looking at here?
Well, this is the orbital shower system.
Get a load of this shower.
Yeah, they have basically a nest inside the shower room, and that allows you to control the temperature. Basically what it does is it pours water on you, and then it filters it back up and pours it back onto you, like they do in the International Space Station.
And
actually, it's designed partially by NASA.
It has an interesting smell.
It's the only system of its kind in any hotel. I think it's the first in the world that has this. Or so they claim. Oh, before we keep going, we should do our question of the week. Because a lot of people go to Denmark and they say to themselves, this place is perfect. I should move here. And you were telling me a few days ago that there's like several YouTube channels
Dedicated to teaching Americans how to move to Copenhagen.
Right. So we were wondering, is there a place that you've ever visited where you've found it's just so awesome, so perfect that you've wanted to move there? Where was that? And also, follow-up question, did you end up moving there?
For us, that place probably would be Nice. I mean, you talk about how much you want to move to Nice all the time.
I do.
We got stuck there during the pandemic, and it's one of the best places you could get stuck because you have clean streets, delicious food. I mean, you could still
bakeries.
Yeah, great bakeries. Boulangerie La Niçoise, the seed bread there, amazing. And we would walk out to the beach all the time. You can still experience the nature and stuff. You just have to keep your distance from other people. And we met a couple of locals there who said that we could become French.
Yeah, they wanted us to.
I'm not sure how much I want to become French. Usually that's an insult on the internet nowadays, but I mean, you keep talking about how much you want to become French.
I am French. What are you talking about? Aaron, how about you? Where would you like to? Has there ever been a place you've wanted to move to?
I don't think that there's ever been a place where I think, I've arrived, perfection. But there are places that I love. Switzerland is one of them.
Yeah.
Lucerne is my favorite city there.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
I really like North Island of New Zealand, Auckland. That's really fun. I actually liked Sydney last time we were there, and of course Japan, Tokyo, and really almost any city, but I do like Tokyo quite a bit.
They have their society on lock. Like everything works, the public transportation, the public infrastructure, everything. It's one of the most solid countries we've ever been to.
I could live there.
I could live there, yeah. We have lived there. Okay, so question is, where have you been that you think is so great that you wanted to move there, and tell us where it was, and did you actually end up moving there? I know we have some people here who are regular viewers of the podcast who have relocated. This is an interesting picture that we're looking at here. Aaron, what are we looking at?
So last week we were in Aarhus.
Yeah.
Aarhus is one of the most sustainable cities in the world. It's one of the top 10 on the Global Development Sustainability Index. So, of course, we had to go because this guy is working on a sustainability series and has been for the past 2 years. And Aarhus is really interesting. Of course, it's a coastal city in Denmark. It's the second largest city in Denmark. And one of the things that they're known for, really, we were talking to a local there, and she said this is like the Eiffel Tower of Aarhus. It's the Modern Art Museum. In the Modern Art Museum, they have a rainbow panorama bridge. So on the very top, they have this bridge that is circular and has different tinted glass, so that way it looks like a rainbow.
Yeah, and this is a picture of Dad in hell.
Yes. Oh, well, we should say that we were there on a warm day, and it gets kind of hot when the sun beats down on it. It wasn't so bad in the section that you were in there, but then this is all the red section, the red tinted glass, and I did feel a little bit warm. I wouldn't say it was hell, but it was pretty warm.
Yeah. Well, we met with the CEO of Scandic Hotels, who's working on a project in the docklands of Aarhus, and sustainability really is one of the things that they're going for. But also, when it comes to authenticity, one of the interesting things that you'll note in this photo is that they're using this yellow brick. Yellow brick is important for Aarhus because their university uses mainly yellow brick.
Yeah.
And so this whole project is, of course, meant to be a wellness. It's supposed to be a signature Scandic hotel, which is the top of the line 5-star experience, and it will be the first one in Denmark that is a Scandic property.
And it's probably the first hotel in Denmark that has a spa on 3 levels. So we've been to a hotel
spa ever.
Oh yeah, we've been to one on 2 levels, which was very impressive. That was the Four Seasons, I want to say, in Hong Kong. This is going to be on 3 levels, so they're really taking it up a notch. Here's another picture of the construction site. Not all of the lodging experiences, though, are indoors even. We went to the Moisbjerg National Park. Sorry for the pronunciation. We met with our friends Bjorn and Manja. This is them here. They have a place with all these yurts.
Yeah, they're yurting it up.
Yurting it up, yeah.
I think the photos really speak for themselves. Yeah. It's really quite an amazing experience when the weather is nice. Especially it's not raining, because that's, it rains a lot here, but when it's not raining, it's really beautiful. You live in these yurts, and the yurts are specifically positioned so that it feels like you're not in a hotel, that you're really out in nature. Yeah. And supposedly camping here is not the best. You have these tents that are right next to each other. Basically, it's not like being out in wilderness. It feels more like you're on a concrete slab with everyone else, so that way you can be in nature, but really you're just among a bunch of other people. Now, this gives you a little bit more of a sense of privacy, a sense of being in nature and far away from everything, yes. Which apparently you'd be able to get in like Norway or Sweden, but they're able to provide that in Denmark.
And a lot of this is in an attempt to have a smaller footprint. And so living in this yurt...
That's carbon footprint.
Yeah, carbon footprint. Yeah. And so living in this yurt, they've relinquished some creature comforts. And you'll notice this as a trend. We're going to talk about a couple other places later on. But a lot of people, in an attempt to have less of an impact, will not have certain amenities.
Yeah. So if here
there's a hotel that we're staying
at,
where that's the case. We'll get into that soon.
You chop your own firewood here, for example. That's and we met a guest. This woman here is a guest. She said she loved it. We zipped over to a place called Silkeborg. This is the steamship, the ancient steamship. It's so old that Hans Christian Andersen actually was on this steamship. This very steamship here. We have some footage that we're showing you right now.
He wrote fairy tales.
He did. He was a fairy tale guy.
Yeah,
exactly.
We know a lot about Hans Christian Andersen.
Yes, we do. And it was this was kind of a cold and windy day, Aaron. But what were your overall impressions of Silkeborg?
It was really cool to be able to see the inland river as not a river, as a lake.
It's lakes, yeah.
To see it's one of the largest lakes in Denmark, which Denmark is mainly islands, so to see lakes pretty cool. So we got to see that.
Like Minnesota, right?
Yeah. And it was a very peaceful experience. I think that if you ever watch those Steamboat Willie, the first clip in any Disney movie is Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
That particular steamboat reminds me a lot of it. I don't think I would have enjoyed being on it, though, because it literally is powered by coal, and it's
not the most environmentally friendly thing.
Perhaps
historically, though, it's very significant. Isn't it the oldest one still in use?
It goes way back. We drove from Aarhus to Copenhagen, and this is Aaron in our EV, which wasn't really a car. It was, as we showed in our last podcast, more of a van. Mm-hmm. But that thing charged up really fast.
Yeah.
And this time we had a chance to go over all the bridges without being in the rain, because it was really raining hard when we went over. So we got to see the fact that, Denmark is mostly just these islands and bridges connecting them. It's kind of cool. It reminds me a little of the Florida Keys, but with not the same weather.
And also more expensive.
We really went down the rabbit hole on architecture in Denmark. So we had another chance.
This is our friend who does the multi-purpose areas.
Yes.
So remember how I was talking about how a lot of a lot of them here, they want to consume less, so there's less amenities. Well, this is one of the places. Our friend who was doing sustainable, building materials and architecture helped. He helped plan a facility that is a lobby for a hotel, a cafe, and then also a storefront for a Scandinavian-designed furniture company.
Okay, here's you sitting in one of the furniture.
It's a shag carpet chair.
But how'd that feel like?
Well, it's very nice. Sometimes I just sit in shag carpet regularly, so I would buy one of those chairs. Yeah.
Okay. Aaron, for you being the photographer, this must have been pretty cool because not a bad shot to be taken, right?
Yeah.
This is the port area. Now, what they've done is they took the port. It was an old port, kind of run down and not very nice. They cleared it and they saved some of the old buildings, but then they put up all these apartments, mixed use buildings, and the idea is that every building should be used 24/7. So if you have a building that is maybe a store during working hours, it becomes a community center in the evening. And so as a result, you don't have to build as much. It's really kind of a cool concept.
Yeah, it's basically a 5-minute city.
5-minute city, but really into like conservation and sustainability. Yeah. One of the highlights was going to the Church of Our Savior. It's that spiral steeple that you see in Copenhagen, and it is. We thought originally that it was kind of a Mormon tabernacle, but it's not. It's actually a Protestant church, and you can climb all the way atop, and you can see the rest of the city. It's really, really cool. That's not the curvature of the Earth, by the way. It's not that high.
Yeah.
We visited a funga farm, a mushroom farm, basically. Mm-hmm. This is our friend Kyle, who's showing off some lion's mane and also some coral growing in his mushroom farm. Really cool concept and really into sustainability as well. Nothing is wasted. They are very proud of the fact that they don't really use a lot of water, too, in growing these mushrooms. But it's a multi-stage process.
Yeah.
The growing of the mushrooms. And they have it down to a science. It's pretty cool.
They get sawdust. Mm-hmm. They get, I think, barley, and they mix it in a bag, and then they get these seeds with all these myceliums growing through the seeds. Yeah. And that's how they bring about the mushroom and its root system. And then they get those seeds with the mycelium in it, and it kind of looks like tempeh. I asked the guy if you could eat it, and he's like, yeah, you can eat it. It tastes like tempeh. It has the texture of tempeh. And even when you see them in the bags, they look like tempeh. Anyway, then they put those into the bags of sawdust, let them steep in a dark room for a week or two with red light sometimes. Then they put it into this teenager bedroom looking room with all this smoke everywhere, and they keep it there for
teenager bedroom.
Yeah. You saw the humidifiers. You open that up, and all the smoke comes out.
Okay.
And so they leave it there for 7 days, and then with the top of it cut off, the top of the plastic bag cut off, and then the mushrooms fruiting bodies sprout out the top, and then you have really expensive mushrooms.
Okay, here's some oyster mushrooms that we saw. Really beautiful and delicious, too. The reason I say delicious is that Kyle is a part owner of a restaurant, a vegan restaurant, and this is what the oyster mushroom looks like when it's prepared. It's fried, kind of, not fried, they put it over a
That
grill.
Was at the Michelin star restaurant that they wanted us to go to.
Arc, yeah.
Arc, yes.
Really delicious.
Pro tip, the wine pairings have a lot of wine.
Okay, all right, we're not going to go there. I did the wine pairings. It's a decision.
I had a rough morning today.
He regrets.
Yeah.
Here's not a picture of a mushroom. This is the other side of the building. This is a grain silo that got turned into apartments. Yeah, I know, but it does look a little bit like a mushroom.
Yeah, and I believe the downstairs you can park your bike in there.
Yeah, urban gardens. There are plenty of them in Copenhagen. And here's our friend who we met today who runs one of the urban gardens. It's harvest time there, so everything is there. They've got pumpkins and squash and all kinds of kale, and they have a restaurant, and they serve the food there. Really good stuff. Enjoyed it a lot. What were your overall impressions of Copenhagen, guys?
Copenhagen is a very interesting city. I thought when we visited Hamburg that Copenhagen would be something similar. And definitely it's true that they use a lot of bricks here. The architecture is is similar to maybe what I expected, but actually I think that the architecture is just a notch above. If you really think about it, architecture is one of the best things to see when you're in Denmark.
Yeah.
And it's especially good when you get this beautiful summer weather and, all the clouds are gone and you get nice lighting.
Which we had.
Yeah, which we had.
Yes, we're very lucky.
So Copenhagen is great because it has wonderful architecture. It's a very convenient city. You have lots of great mass transit things in town. Only difficulty, of course, is I think it can be very pricey. But other than that, it's very convenient. We got these Copenhagen cards, and those allow you to see most of the attractions.
Like 80 museums you can get, plus mass transit.
And to travel basically wherever you want to. It's very, very convenient. So I think that if you're looking for a destination where you can see all of the destinations and be within a relatively short amount of time to whatever attraction you might want to be, I think that they've been able to create that experience here. And especially with the transits to and from the airport, it's just like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a fun city. It is a bit expensive. Come here if you have an embarrassingly large amount of money.
No, I agree. I like Copenhagen too. I like Denmark overall. The things I love about Copenhagen are the metro, which is, you're never more than like 2 or 3 minutes from the next metro. In terms of they run so often, and they're completely autonomous, and so it's all like very, very high tech. I love it. Mass transit here is incredible. The thing that I was less enthusiastic about were the food prices, and also the bicycles. The bicycles all have the right of way here. I almost got run off the road by a bicycle. They are very possessive about their bike lanes. And so if you want to come here and go biking, it's a great place to go. As a pedestrian, though, you really have to watch out because they will they'll run you off the road if you're in their lane. So that's how to make a Dane really mad is to
that's how to get into a fist fight.
Walk into the bike lane. In our last podcast, we asked you about the most
money you've ever spent on food.
Yes. Speaking of which.
Yes. And Newman Wilkin writes, Maui's expensive, but the setting is worth it. Always served with a side of aloha. We ate at the Four Seasons on Lanai, and the food was good, but the view was spectacular. We just spent $400 on 2 lunches at Legal Seafood in Boston. Prince Edward Island oysters are small, briny, and delicious. Their lobster rolls are fantastic. My philosophy is that life is short. Get the good oysters.
You're getting a little emotional there? You're like just sniffling.
I'm getting tired.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I wish I had enough money for that. I like oysters.
Oh, yeah.
Sam writes, okay. And now I know you pointed to that one. Hey, Sam, really sorry. I will respond to your email soon. I'm so sorry. It's been 3 weeks now. This is kind of embarrassing.
You should really write her back.
Sam, we love you. We love you. All the comments you leave, you're our best. I'm not going to pick favorites. You're one of our best commenters. Yeah. Love you, Sam. Okay, let's read Sam's comment. Sam writes, eating in Norway and Denmark is expensive. We always stay in Scandic hotels for their extensive free breakfast buffet. Pepe's pizzas are everywhere, and their pizzas are good and large enough to take away portions for later. Keep more kroner in our wallet. Well, guess what, Sam? We have no kroner in our wallet. We've gone bankrupt living here in Denmark. It's only been a week.
I'm not familiar with Pepe's. We got to check Pepe's out.
Yeah.
Michelle,
I'll eat their pizzas on your behalf. I know you can't eat cheese.
Michelle says, while I was stationed in Europe with the U.S. Army, my in-laws from Minnesota came to visit. And the 4 of us did the usual touring of German castles and then the lake in Zurich in Switzerland, which was more hype and beauty. And we went to London. We stopped at a restaurant called the Ménage de Trois.
That's an unfortunate name.
I believe it's been almost 40 years since we've been there. Anyway, something should have warned us that it was going to be expensive when the menu came without prices.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a red flag. We ordered what our server told us was outstanding fillets of venison, and I will admit they were wonderful. The bread rolls in cute little baskets were warm and tasty, and even the butter was fresh and costly. When the bill came, it was well over $300 American. Now, if that happened 40 years ago, if you factor in for inflation, That's more like $500 maybe. That's a lot of money.
Well, I mean, it sounds good. I mean, if you're describing it this way 30 years later, the food must have been good. But who names a restaurant threesome?
I don't know. It's the French.
Yeah, the French. Well, that's all we have to say about Denmark. Our next location is, are we going to say it, guys?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix. We're going to Phoenix. We're going to discuss all of the new tips and tricks that we learned throughout our trip to Europe. Our latest trip to Europe, and then we're also going to talk about a couple of locations around Arizona. Stay tuned for that, guys. And remember, the question of today's week is, have you ever visited a place you liked so much that you wanted to move there? Let us know in the comments down below. See you guys later.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.